this edition with some breaking news coming in. We are learning that a Russian delegation is set to visit a HAL facility ahead of Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India later this year. And we're learning that Sukhoi Design Bureau will carry out a feasibility study on making Su-57 fighter jets in India. Delegation is set to hold a meeting with the HAL authorities. And we're also learning that the Nashik facility of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, that is HAL, is likely to be the production hub for made in India Su-57 fighter jets. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big development coming in ahead of Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India. We're learning that a Russian delegation is set to visit her HAL facility and initiate talks with its counterparts over here in a bid to increase our defense prowess. All right, we have let's go across to our reporters. We have my colleague Ishan joining me live from the national capital, and we also have senior editor Shravan joining me live from the newsroom. Let's go across to Shravan first. Shravan, tell us what does this essentially mean, and what can we expect from this Russian delegation meeting?
Well, this comes at a time when Washington has been pushing India to consider F-35. Remember, the fifth generation stealth fighter jet that India is essentially exploring at this point in time. But what we are given to understand is that Moscow has already extended the offer to jointly produce the Su-57. Now, remember, the Su-57 is the state-of-the-art fifth generation stealth fighter jet, which is being used by the Russian Air Force. And importantly, remember, for India, which has been using the Su-30 MKI for a very long time, which is also being produced here in India in HAL's Nashik production hub, we are now essentially given to understand that the delegation which is going to be in India in the next coming months, they would essentially be exploring the possibility of jointly producing the Su-57 here in India, something that India is, actively looking at, given the fact that we have been exploring the possibility of using a fifth generation aircraft. And that is the reason why, remember, Russia comes in handy at this point in time, because if you compare the Su-57 with that of the F-35, it is about the cost and also the effectiveness. That is the reason why perhaps you would have the Su-57 weighing heavy on the Indian mind at this point in time. And also keeping in mind the Russian spare parts, which are far more easily available, and more importantly, given the direct interaction that we've had with the Russian military, it has been far more easier. And let's not forget, the F-35 happens to be one of the most expensive fifth generation platform available in the world, and that is something that India isn't extremely keen on, and that is where the Su-57 comes into the picture right now. And this delegation visit, which is expected in the coming few months, is going to be extremely important, because this comes just ahead of President Putin's visit, which is scheduled in the month of December.
Shravan, thank you for that. Let's also get in a word from my colleague Ishan.